Picture this. Workers roll asphalt, and a week later, villagers notice a field that used to drain dries up. Water pools somewhere else. Under that new ribbon of road, an old canal once guided the flow. Today, we follow those hidden highways and why they still matter for farmers, temples, and towns across Cambodia.
Right. And good morning. I'm Nisa. That image is more common than people expect. We'll show you where surveys are finding these lines, what gets lost when construction rushes in, and what simple fixes can protect both heritage and livelihoods.
Let's start with the evidence. Over the past year, teams using LiDAR and satellite imagery, backed by ground-penetrating radar, have flagged long, consistent alignments across fields in places from Siem Reap outskirts to a provincial area in Kampong Thom. A research group from a national university mapped one of these lines and shared data with provincial heritage officers.
Those alignments aren't random. Elders in villages remember footpaths and seasonal canals that match the lines on the maps. When local memory and science point to the same place, you have a strong clue that a buried canal or road exists beneath modern soil.
Short, practical example. Near Siem Reap, a contractor preparing a rural road cut a shallow berm without an archaeological team present. The crew exposed compacted clay and a series of parallel deposits, classic signs of an engineered canal bank, then backfilled and paved. Records show a continuous feature was lost that helped spread floodwater across fields.
No way. That sounds avoidable. The cost wasn't just history lost. Villagers reported higher water levels the next rainy season and extra time shoveling silt from drains. So this is heritage and household budgets, not an abstract story.
Exactly. Now, people hearing LiDAR or GPR may think it's magic. Quick clarity. LiDAR is a laser scan from planes or drones that picks up tiny bumps under the trees. Ground-penetrating radar sends pulses into the soil and reads reflections that suggest buried features. When both methods, plus local testimony, align, archaeologists call that a high-confidence target.
Right. And to make that even plainer, when a buried canal is still shaping the ground, it affects where water sits in the wet season and where rice grows best. That's why engineers and farmers should care about these lines, not just historians.
I want to pause on one success story. In a district in Kampong Thom, LiDAR showed a linear anomaly under planning for a new road. The developer paused for 2 weeks. Archaeologists from a university team mapped it, and the road alignment shifted 10 meters. The next rainy season, villagers reported less flooding where they had expected more. A small engineering change, measurable community benefit.
Those small moves are huge. But I want to press you here. Some listeners will say, we can't stop projects every time an old ditch appears. I don't think we should either. But what if a rushed road once caused a harvest loss? I've heard that story from a commune outside Phnom Penh. Families lost planting time because drainage shifted mid-season.
I don't disagree. We need balance. The practical path is staged screening, remote sensing before groundworks, a fast-response archaeological assessment if a high-confidence line appears, and then low-disruption engineering fixes, things like culverts, short route adjustments, or protective foundations.
Hold on. When you say fast response teams, who pays? Smaller contractors worry about extra cost and delay. I want listeners to know this is a negotiation. Sometimes provinces reallocate small contingency funds in tendering to cover quick surveys, and donors have funded pilot programs that showed a positive return when flooding falls later.
Good point. Investment up front usually avoids larger repair bills. Engineers we spoke with recommend design decisions such as permeable culverts that allow old water paths to pass under new roads and retaining shallow berms where they serve hydrology. Those measures add modest cost, but often prevent lost crops and repeated maintenance.
I heard a memorable line from a provincial water engineer. We are not preserving the past for its own sake. We are preserving a working drainage system. That framing helped local officials accept small design shifts during tenders.
And on the heritage side, ministries and university teams emphasize documentation.
If a feature cannot be preserved in place, careful recording, maps, photos, and soil samples keeps the knowledge. The Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts often asks for this in higher profile areas, though enforcement across every rural road varies.
Let's give listeners a short, usable checklist if they see construction touching strange cross lines in their village. 1. Stop and document. Photos with a phone and a rough location. 2. Ask elders if the place had seasonal water or a footpath. 3. Contact the Provincial Heritage Office or a trusted community NGO. 4. Keep a copy of what you recorded.
And when you report, include details, dates, nearby landmarks, and whether heavy machinery has already disturbed the site. Those elements help authorities prioritize quick surveys, and if needed, minor design fixes before irreversible removal.
We should also be honest about risks. Modern drainage sometimes concentrates flow into narrow channels and accelerates erosion, which can wash away the very deposits that record ancient engineering. That creates both a heritage loss and a practical problem for farmers lower down the watershed.
Exactly. That's why collaboration matters. Engineers, archaeologists, community leaders working together. We've heard of provincial offices now including an archaeologist in early tender reviews, a small policy tweak with big effects on preventing damage and speeding approvals.
Quick update round. A provincial policy in one area now requires basic remote sensing reports for projects above a certain size. A new smartphone app was released that tags photos with GPS and time for field documentation. And a pilot watershed project used ancient canal alignments to reduce downstream erosion during heavy rains.
On tourism and community benefit, when handled carefully, interpretive trails along former canal lines can support guides, create jobs, and fund local conservation. The key is community-led curation, clear routes, fees that return to villages, and signs that explain both engineering and culture.
Before we close, a short misinformation note. A viral post recently promised a full excavation and flashy tourist boulevard overnight. That's not how careful archaeology or planning works. Verify by checking for named institutions. For example, a university team, the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts, or a peer-reviewed report before you share bold claims.
Right. Name, method, and time frame matter. If a story lacks those, treat it as unverified. When in doubt, look for official statements on ministry pages or academic releases from institutions such as national universities that often post summaries of fieldwork.
We read a listener note this week. What can ordinary citizens do when they see construction cutting through old terrain? Your simple answer: document, ask elders, and report. If you're unsure, contact local heritage officers or trusted NGOs. Don't confront crews. Keep records safe and let authorities follow up.
To bring this home, old canals and roads still shape water and livelihoods. Modern projects can reveal or erase those features, but staged surveys, quick responses, and modest engineering choices let development move forward without needless loss.
And a last practical note. A photo with a timestamp and a sentence from an elder about where water used to go can be the first clue that saves a feature. Small acts by many people protect both our heritage and our farms.
That wraps our look at hidden highways, the past under our feet that still shapes Cambodia's future. The facts are clear. The evidence is undeniable. Stand with Cambodia.
We'll be back with more clear, practical reporting. If this episode helped you, please subscribe to NSP Plus TV and share it with someone who cares about our land, our heritage, and our communities.